guys, welcome back. It's Lee and Alison from the Law School and Bar Exam Toolboxes. We are here for the aftermath of the California bar experiments, which I think it might be fair to say was not a success.
Well, it was a success and then they licensed some people, which is great. So congratulations to everybody who got licensed.
I would even back up. I would say congratulations to everyone who persevered through this experience. I think whatever the result was, you should give yourself a big pat on the back because it was really a lot. And you did it. You got through. You dealt with all of the bull bleep and, you did it. So whatever the outcome was, I give you props because it was really a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. So we're on the other side. The results did come out a little later than they were expected to, but they did come out. Details. So, Alvin, what were the results? Because this is kind of fascinating.
Yeah, it is actually. So kind of as we predicted in the beginning of this whole thing, it seems like they basically just kind of picked the number of people who usually pass and passed that amount of people and just had to reduce the raw score to get there. In fact, this was actually the highest general bar exam. So the people who are not taking the attorney's exam, who take the 2-day test, highest spring pass rate since 1965. And the attorney's exam had the highest pass rate since February of 1992. So pretty interesting that actually, this turned out not to be the worst exam to take if you were looking to pass.
Interesting. When I read that, I thought it was funny that they're comparing apples to apples when this is really apples to oranges. They were also comparing the multiple choice scores from this test to the MBE. And I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. We don't even know exactly how many of those questions you even counted.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of open questions. There are a number of lawsuits on all sides. In fact, recently, the California bar, I think yesterday, sued Measure Learning. On Monday. That was yesterday. We're recording this on Tuesday, May 6th, for the record. So they sued the Measure Learning people, and then Measure Learning came back and said the state bar is, quote, trying to shift the blame for its flawed development process for the February exam. So I don't know. I would say there's blame to go around.
I think so. I mean, this was bungled on so many fronts. So there is plenty of blame to go around, but it's not shocking that everyone is pointing fingers at everybody else.
Yeah. So, wrapped up the experiment. They did give people some bonus points. It's all, it is what it is. I think looking forward, the interesting point is that they're going to go back to using the NCBE multiple choice questions in person. So if you are taking the July exam, you can breathe a sigh of relief. It is basically just going to be a normal bar exam. So I think that's great. I mean, that's what people were kind of asking for. And it sounds like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And so, I think if you took that bar, if you took the February bar, it's also just going to be realizing that you need to revert back. But that means that those study materials that you had for the MBE are still valid. You can go back to using tools like Adaptabar and UWorld and Strategies and Tactics and all of those materials. And you'll know what subjects are actually covered, which is kind of magical. So that's great.
Yeah. So I think everyone could breathe a collective sigh of relief. The experiment is not currently continuing. We are going back to the normal bar exam. And yeah, the only open question right now, I think, for me is what information are people going to get on their score reports if they did not pass? Because they're in the mail, apparently. So if you didn't pass and you want us to take a look at it when you get it, feel free to send it over, barexamtoolbox.com. We have a contact form. We would be really happy just to sort of help you figure out what happened, and what information you have. But basically, revert back to your normal studies, like tactics, basically.
Yeah. I also think that it's important for everyone that did get disappointing results from this February exam to take a hot second and grieve, because you have to have so many justifiable big feelings of anger. I do.
Sure.
I have them for you, but it has to be so frustrating to know that not only now do you need to restudy, but you're now studying also for a slightly different test, hopefully a better test, a more consistent and, standardized test. But I think as you regroup, you do need to give yourself time to process a lot of those feelings to be able to make a solid plan to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is, the time to do whatever it is that helps you get out your big feelings, and take some time. Don't try to jump, the next day back into studying. That's not realistic. This was a mess. It was frustrating. People are understandably frustrated. Um, so yeah, I completely agree. I think taking that time to sort of, put yourself in a good mindset, approach it in a sort of objective way is going to be helpful, because it is an unfortunate situation for sure.
Yeah, my only other thought would be, when you get those score reports, take a deep breath when you open them, but there's probably going to still be some information that you can glean from them. And I think there might be the desire to just want to shred them, which I completely get. But hopefully, there's still some data that can be pulled that'll help you just be more informed as you study again. So that's going to be a challenging emotional exercise, but I do recommend that you still try and get all the information you can from that experience, only to make you a better test taker going forward.
Sure, and I think the same thing if you can get back your essays and PTs, get them back. Either you look at them or somebody you trust looks at them, but it is information that is helpful, even if it's super annoying and frustrating and, you know, not fun to go through. I do think it's helpful for positioning yourself for the future.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's still going to be more news to come, as there always is. But I think at least we know what the July exam is going to look like. And, congratulations to those who did get good news on Monday. That's an accomplishment. And hang in there to everyone who didn't. This is going to be a bar exam that no one will ever criticize you for having not passed. I mean, people really don't talk to you about when you pass the bar anyway. But I think this one, no one's ever gonna be like, "Oh, you didn't pass the dumpster fire?" Like, I
Right.
mean,
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you got through the experience, you've emerged on the other side, whatever the result was. I think we can maybe wrap up our YouTube series on the California bar experiment and mark it a not pass and, move on to what is hopefully a more normal bar exam experience in July. So good luck to everyone studying. Feel free to reach out if you want some help, barexamtoolbox.com. Like I said, we're happy to look at your score reports, help you sort of figure out a path forward because we know how frustrating this has been for everybody.
all right. Hang in there, everyone.